It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. I just made that up. It sounds pithy, and I suspect it might catch on in future literature. It reflects my experience of the Formula One weekend here in Barcelona in 2022. Please feed the YouTube algorithm by giving the video a like. If you want to see more like this, click subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. If you want to chip in on my expenses, I now have Patreon and YouTube memberships. Tickets to the event were fully sold out on the Formula1.com website, so I went hunting for scalper sites. I ended up paying €85 more than the list price. I thought this was illegal these days, but apparently Formula One and the race organizers don't care. F1 weekends are generally Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday is 2 initial practice sessions, Saturday is 1 more practice and qualifying, and Sunday's the race. Each race weekend also has events from other car classifications, and in Barcelona we had Formula 2, Formula 3, and Formula W. They all look and perform like F1 cars, so it was a bit repetitious. Track entry rules require only plastic bottles, not glass, which I understand, or cans, which I don't. So each day I loaded up with 1.5 liters of water, 2 small bottles of Coke Zero, and 2 homemade tuna sandwiches. I am not standing in line or paying the outrageous prices for food and drinks inside the track. The track is a decently long ride northeast of the city, so you have to use a bus service, train, or your own transport and find and pay for parking. I booked in with the Sagrales bus service, only €9 each way. It took 2 short subway rides to get to the North bus station. Sagrales claims that they drop you off close to the track. Well, let me tell you, that's a load of Spanish male cow droppings. They drop you off at least 300 meters from the front of the track. Nothing smart like driving around the existing access road and dropping people at each gate. Nope, not here. Then I discovered that my gate, number 7, is on the exact opposite side of the track from the drop-off point, and there is no shortcut through. You just have to walk uphill over 2 kilometers all the way around. On Friday there was a relatively short line at the gate, as not many people care about this first day. I went through and spent time in each of the pelouse or grassy areas that my ticket allowed. Good sight lines of the track, corners, and some big TVs to see the broadcast action. After the day, I did the walk back to the bus, got straight on, and home. Boy, were my expectations set wrong. Saturday was a domino of disaster, starting with me leaving later than I had hoped. I got to the bus station along with 1,000 other people with no line management to put us onto the dozen or so waiting buses, so it was just every person to themselves. We got to the track and I did my hike to the gate, only to realize that the line for gate 7 ended before gate number 6. No signs, no staff directing fans. You just have to walk to your gate, see the line trailing downhill into the distance, follow the line back down the hill to the end, and then walk back up. The line was over 1 kilometer long. I am not joking. I realized I wouldn't get inside before practice 3 and might just be able to watch qualifying. I'm hot, tired, and fed up with Spanish shitfuckery, so I bailed on the day and walked back to the bus area. This is where I found that the first bus back to the city leaves in 2.5 hours, and they wouldn't let me sit inside in the meantime. I tried to request an Uber, but the cellular network is completely saturated near the track, so no luck there. I managed to flag down a taxi that brought some people into the track and got a nice aircon ride home for €60. At home, I seriously wondered if I would bother going the next day. In the end, I did. I'm here, I bought the ticket, and I do want to see the race. Fed up with the bus, I looked at the train service through the Renfrew Intercity line and discovered it was about the same distance to Gate 7 from the station, but I could get there earlier than the bus, shortening my line and giving me a shot at a good viewing location. So Sunday morning I'm up and in the subway at 6:30 a.m. I bought a ticket to the R2 train and cruise up to Montmello. I get off with 1,000 other people, walk uphill and get in line for Gate 7, and I know where to look today. The long line moves quickly and I'm inside. I'd like to take an existing staircase up the steep hill, but in a stroke of genius they blocked off the stairs, forcing people to go around the gate and claw their way up the hill. I reached my targeted viewing location around 8:45, only to see the hillside almost completely packed full of people already. I found myself a space the size of a bath towel and settle in. Unfortunately, the hill is at about a 45-degree angle, and I'm sliding down despite my best efforts to stay stable. I drank my bottle of Coke Zero and used it as a tool to dig trenches to lock in my butt and heels like my ape ancestors would have about 30,000 years ago. Now the waiting starts in the baking 30 degrees Celsius direct sun. Formula 3 didn't start the race until 10 a.m. Then Formula 2 had their race 11:35 to 12:40. Then Formula 1 had their race 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Notice the huge time gaps with nothing going on the track. This time should have been filled with historic cars doing slow laps, or local sports car clubs doing 5-lap sprints or something. Use the track. Entertain the spectators. At one point, a band was shown on the big screen, performing on the track in front of the main grandstand. Is this a good use of resources? The Formula 1 race finally starts, and it turns out to be a good one, with good passing, spins, drives through the gravel, flat tires, and blown engines. My hillside fans were 100% behind Fernando Alonso, but with little support for the other Spaniard, Carlos Sainz. We gave mixed support for Max and Lewis, depending on who you were cheering for. Now, my only task is to get home. Cue another disaster. I walked all the way back to the bus area, only to find around 5,000 people in a zigzag line, while I counted 25 unused Sagredis buses just sitting behind a fence. If I had a rocket launcher, well, you know the rest. So I bagged that idea and said I'll walk back to the train station and jump on the train. At this point, I've had over 2 liters of liquid through the day, and I haven't peed the whole day. I'm just sweating buckets, and my kidneys are wondering what's going on. I've lost the ability to make spit in my mouth. 45 minutes later, I arrive at the train station to find a sea of humanity flooding the area and no signs or staff to say what's going on. The line to buy a ticket extended 500 meters outside the station. I chugged 2 cans of orange Fanta for liquid and sugar and lay down on the soft green grass, closed my eyes and thought about puppies for a long time. I bought a paper bag of churros with chocolate sauce and 2 more orange Fantas, and finally got in the ticket line. Right around then, the line started moving quickly, and a train staff guy said, "The train is now free." This is the station's busiest weekend of year, so why didn't they already make the decision to let everyone in quickly and bring on some extra trains? They could ask for reimbursement from the track management, or ask people just to buy a round-trip ticket that wouldn't be checked. We all just walked through the gates and down to the platform to a waiting train. Each door was Japanese subway full, so I kept walking down, only for the doors to close and the train to roll away. 20 minutes later, another train rolled in to the cheers of the waiting hordes. I got on, enjoyed small puffs of aircon, 2 quick subway rides, and I'm home and into a cold bath to bring down my core body temperature. ending my Spanish Grand Prix adventure. So, would I do it again? Not a fucking chance. Once in the city is enough for me. I'll watch it on TV from now on, in my air conditioning, with a drink and a bag of snacks in the other hand. I would only go if I had an assigned, padded seat in a grandstand with a roof to block the sun, a waiter bringing my food and drinks, and I was helicoptered in and out each day. A guy's got a dream, right? Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to feed the algorithm and do all the YouTube things. Take care and see you next time.